Hi everyone, it's Rabbi David, and hope all are well. Hope you had a good August, whether you were able to have a break or didn't manage a break. I hope you're well and you're okay. This week's Parashat is Tavo, so the last few portions of the Torah actually to come. And at the beginning of Tavo, we have the mitzvah, the commandment of bringing the first fruits of the land of Israel to the Kohen, to the priest in the temple. So obviously this mitzvah doesn't apply today, although we have a festival that connects to it, of course, the festival of fruits, or Bikurim of first fruits, which is Shavuot. But it's fascinating. The individual who brings the first of a fruit, brings it to the temple of Jerusalem, gives it to the Kohen as a show of appreciation of the land, but then has to tell a story, a spiel. It's a story that we find in the Haggadah. Arami Oved Avi, my ancestor was a wandering Aramaean, or an Aramaean tried to destroy my ancestor, as we understand in the Haggadah. So we tell a story. My ancestor was wandering. He went down to Egypt. There he became enslaved. The Jewish people cried out. God heard their cry. God saves them and has brought them to the land which I now am in. And here I am with the first fruit. So why the spiel? Why the story? So there's a rabbi from the 15th and 16th centuries in Italy called Ovadia Sforno. And he says, fascinatingly, the point of the story is to look at the stages that led to the Jew being in Israel at the temple. Initially, there was this wandering Aramaean, Jacob, who had no home, who had nowhere to live for a time. Then he became a nation, his future became a nation in Egypt, but that nation was not free. It was under the control of the Egyptians. The nation leaves Egypt, leaves the control of Egypt, but then doesn't have a place to call its own. And then God gives us a land so that our nationhood can become one with a land. And so the Jew saying all that can then feel incredibly thankful to be able to stand with the fruit. It almost deepens the thanksgiving. And I think the Jew, in understanding this, will understand that there is a cycle in our history. This path, this progress from being an individual homeless to a nation homeless, to a nation with a home, is something that we relate to throughout our history. There are times, of course, many times when our nation has been homeless and has suffered, but also times when we have been in a better situation, prospered, and now, of course, have the beauty of the present of a land, which is a land that we as Jewish people can connect to. So, and I think the concept of hope is really important here, and I'd like to look at hope a lot more over the next few weeks through Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, because I believe that hope is a very much part of who we are, a sense of wanting and believing in a better and hoping for a better future, a better next year, is really a part of who we are. And at the moment, the situation we're in demands a lot of hope. Hope gives us a sense that things may be better and that we don't get trapped in the difficulties and the pain and the trauma. That's not always easy, and I want to look back at how we can make that step, which is not always easy. But for now, let's think about hope as what the Jew is saying, that the nation that was homeless becomes a nation with a land. And that involves constantly the tikvah, an incredible amount of hope. Have a great Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Kabbalat Shabbat tonight online at 6:30, slightly earlier time of 6:30. It'd be lovely to join us. Have a great Shabbat.